are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Hello, I am your Superintendent, Jason Manuel.
And I am co-host Mason Grace, Communications Coordinator for the Germantown Municipal School District. Thanks for joining us for this week's Spotlight on Excellence.
For today's show, we will highlight a relationship between a teacher and a student that has been life-changing. We will also show you how one math teacher is getting national attention.
But first, we want to talk about a fun and exciting community event in October, Haunted Houston. Joining us is Jamie Earnest, Houston Middle PTA board member. Welcome, Jamie. How are you?
Hi, very good, thank you.
Okay, so Haunted Houston is coming up, so we want to talk about it. So tell us about what Haunted Houston is.
Okay, well, Haunted Houston is a Houston Middle School PTA fundraiser, and we transform the school into a haunted house and a community event. The students actually are very involved in it. We have different clubs throughout the school who put in little vignettes, little rooms throughout the haunted house, and they do this all on their own. It's very exciting to get the kids involved in this. They are the actors in our event, and
So it's pretty much all led by students and PTA members, right?
This is correct. It is all led by students, which is the most exciting part of it because the kids get to get involved and they get to showcase some of their talents, and some of them didn't even realize that they had these talents, and they get very excited about it, and they can decorate their areas throughout the haunted house section. And there are also other sections of the school, like if you don't want to go through the haunted house, you don't have to do that. You can be involved in our fun zone, which has bounce houses and carnival games and prizes that you can win throughout the gymnasium area.
So it's not just a haunted house, it's like a fall carnival where you have blow-ups and jumping games for kids.
Exactly. It is open to all age groups. Some people don't like to be scared, and some people are there so that they can be scared. So it's exciting for everyone. Everyone gets involved. It's a very exciting and neat event for our school.
Is there food there for?
There is food in the cafeteria. We will open our Creepy Cafe. So we will have hamburgers and Marco's Pizza. We will have Nothing Bundt Cakes is sponsoring this year and helping out with that. Drinks and candy for the kids, and just pretty much all sorts of carnival type food.
Now, this is the fourth year for Haunted Houston?
It's the fifth year.
Fifth year.
Yes.
And every year has a different theme.
This is correct.
So what is this year's theme?
This year's theme is pirate. So, so we have some exciting things. I don't want to give everything away, but there will be some exciting pirate type decor throughout the school, as well as the haunted house section of.
And I think every year there's always a poster that goes along with the theme. And I think this year's poster was done a little differently. Is that right?
That is correct. Typically, we have had an adult do our poster, and we thought this is a student event. Let's have one of the students do this. So we went to one of our art teachers, and our 8th grade student Eddie Trzowski his poster was selected this year to be the Haunted Houston poster, and we think he did an excellent job. We love the way that he incorporated our 3 administrators into the poster. They are skeleton pirates this year, so it looks very neat, and it will be around the community and in local schools.
You know, that's one of the recurring themes is the administrators have always been there, but one administrator that was there from the beginning was actually Mr. Manuel.
Yes.
So I know that it began with you, and it's come a long way since then. So it's probably one of my favorite things of the year because it brings the whole community together. But so why did you start this?
Well, it was really in between my first and second year being the principal at Houston Middle School, and we always work with PTA, and they're crucial for helping the school buy technology, raise funds for teacher supplies, and I wanted to do something that wasn't just about asking for money. I can't tell you how many times we've sold candy bars, or we sold wrapping paper, or sold hams, and then eventually people get tired of selling things. And so we really talked about what could we do that would bring the community together for a fun event, but also at the same time raise money for the school and for the PTA. And this was one way to do it. And I think it's exciting for me because I didn't appreciate how much enjoyment the kids who are actually in the haunted house, the actors, would have while they're going through these rooms. So I have lots of things that have been my favorites through the years, but I'd like to ask you, because you came, I think, for the third Haunted Houston.
The third Haunted Houston.
They roped you in
They
and
did.
recruited you. What do you think was the scariest thing that you have seen at Haunted Houston? If you think about your rooms, do you remember any of the rooms that you thought were well done?
I think they've all been very scary. Some, of course, more than others. I think when the kids put the face paint on and you don't even recognize some of the students that you're looking at, I think that is probably the most frightening, because they're looking at you and they're calling you by name, and you can see it in their eyes that they know who you are and you have no idea. They've done such a good job disguising themselves, and that is frightening.
They do a good job.
And yeah, I love that when you're going through there, so many of these kids take it so serious. It's funny, like they get into character and they try their best to scare. It's so much fun. But yeah, it's good.
So what's new this year? What's different from the Haunted Houstons of years past? Anything that y'all have added that's additional?
Okay, well, first off, every year the actual haunted house itself is a brand new haunted house, because you have different clubs and different kids and different themes throughout the haunted house. But specifically this year, we wanted to incorporate the new 901 Rocks craze that is going on. So we are going to have a booth where you can paint those. We are going to have a DJ this year and incorporate hopefully some karaoke. I'm hoping to get some of the teachers involved, and just kids love it when teachers embarrass themselves. So we thought that would be a great way to get everyone excited about that. And also we're going to bring back our wound station, where you can have scars and bruises painted on you and just look like you've been in a haunted house.
So not the typical kitty cat or flower that you get on your face.
No, it is not the typical face paint. And but the kids get really excited about that, and some of them, of course, go home and play tricks on their parents. It's really, really terrible.
And a photo booth, is that right?
Yes, our photo booth this year is actually going to be a lot different. We discovered that kids don't want a printed out picture the way that a lot of their parents may want. They want that picture on their own cell phone. So this year for our photo booth, we're going to let the kids have the opportunity to go into a tent where our adult volunteers will then use the kids' own cell phones to take pictures of them in this photo booth dressed up as pirates or skeletons or whatever that they would like to do. And that way the student has their own picture on their cell phone, which is where really students want that anyway. So they have that Instagram moment, or they can text it out to their friends immediately.
That's exciting. And I know that parents enjoy the fact that they can buy one punch card that they can take to all these events for food and to tour the haunted house.
That is correct.
Well, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
When we return from the break, we'll be visiting with Anna Brignole, an amazing teacher at Farmington Elementary. Please stay with us.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Excellence, a monthly program where we showcase some of the amazing things happening in and around your Germantown schools. We would like to welcome to the show Anna Brignole, a 4th grade math teacher at Farmington.
Welcome, Anna.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, doing well.
Okay, so you are, as you said, 4th grade teacher, and what do you teach at Farmington?
I teach 4th grade, and I am teaching math only now, and so I'm so lucky to be teaching three different classes math this year.
So you say now, so is it just a new thing, or?
Yes, I was teaching math and science, and now
Okay.
I'm just doing math, so I'm very excited.
Tell us how they do that. Do they compartmentalize where you have a team of teachers that you're working with?
I have 2 other teachers that I teach with. One does science and social studies, and the other does reading, and I'm just doing math for 3 homerooms now, so I'm very excited.
So y'all do a rotation through the day where they rotate between
Yes, sir.
teachers? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
How long you been with Farmington?
This is my 4th year at Farmington. 4th year? 3rd year at Farmington, sorry. Yeah, 3rd year at Farmington. But I've been teaching for 11 years now.
Oh, exciting. Now, you've received a little success, and recently you've won an award. Tell us about the award that you just won.
I was nominated nationally. I got recognized by the state for the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics. So throughout the state, we sent up a lesson plan with a video, and I was chosen by the state with another teacher. So the 2 of us are going to the nationals, and we'll find out this summer if we were chosen by the White House, and we'll go to the White House if we win.
Oh,
So
So you're basically chosen as the winner by the state, and now you're
Yes.
going to nationals.
Yes.
So do you know how many were in the process, like how many applied or anything?
I don't know how many applied. I do know per state that there was 2 chosen per state, but I would think that several applied from each state.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This, what is, the award is on mathematics, right? So you basically, what's the application process like?
Melissa Hurt came and videoed a lesson, an hour-long lesson, a 3-act math lesson in my classroom, and then I wrote a paper describing just all the dimensions of the teaching and why I did what I did, and how the students were grouped, and why I chose that particular lesson for that group of students, and sent it in. It's a pretty lengthy process, but it was really worth it in the end. And it's just been so nice to be recognized as a teacher, and that Germantown got recognized on the state level as
Most
well, and
definitely.
hopefully on the national level.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit. So a new teacher coming in, wanting to learn to teach math, so say they're specializing. What would be some hints or tricks that you could give them to teach that subject?
I would say, especially for math, the student really has to believe that they can succeed. I think a lot of times they start, especially in elementary, if they have any trouble at all, they start believing that they can't succeed, or they're not going to do well at the higher level. So I think, especially for elementary school teachers, we have to really promote that growth mindset, that they can succeed and that they can do it. And each time they have a success, really celebrating that. I think that's most important, is letting the child feel like they can be successful.
And then also how we teach math has changed too. Instead of the rote memorization that we used to have,
Right.
it's more task-oriented. Tell us a little bit about how math instruction has changed.
Yes. Instead of, I think it's gone from instructor-led, just where I'm teaching and the students are listening, it's so much more collaborative. The students are working and really critiquing each other's reasoning, and really looking at the problem-solving aspect of it. And being more mathematically flexible, not just this set of procedures like you said, where this is what I do and then next. It's more like there's lots of different areas that I could work on to get to that answer. And finding the most efficient way, what makes the most sense in the real world. And I think really having those discussions, math has become much more discussion-based than set problem, procedural based.
And speaking of growth mindset, that kind of goes right along with it, because there are multiple ways to solve problems using this new strategy.
Yes, and just like the task that I did for the award, I showed a video, and then the kids developed their essential question, and then they all chose the path that they felt like could get them the answer. And then we discussed the different paths that we thought were the best. And it showed how everybody could be successful, because some drew, some did math, some wrote about it, but they all came up with the same answer. Or if they didn't, they thought about why. And so maybe next time they can apply that.
There's obviously a lot of different topics you're covered throughout the year. Is there one that's like your favorite? You think that's a great lesson that you can? I mean, not I'm saying like something you use,
Yes.
a tool that you use to really help with that lesson.
Well, when I was growing up, I really did not like math. It was really a struggle for me. So within my family, they think it's funny that I love math now and I love to teach math. And I think that's a strength of mine because I hated fractions. Fractions were this like abstract concept that I didn't understand. And I love teaching fractions. It's the majority of what we do in 4th grade. And I love really using fractions and allowing the kids to really understand it so that they feel successful in it.
Well, tell me a little bit about RTI. So I know this is off the cuff.
Yes.
Response to Intervention, which is a state initiative, about how we really differentiate instruction, help students who have skill deficits. How does math lend itself to identifying those students and really classifying them in tiers that they can move through?
Using the assessments that we have in the classroom and the assessments that we use as a whole grade level, we can really kind of specify which students need which skills, which students may need some gaps that need closing, or which students are right where they need to be and we need to do some enrichment and really provide some extra problem-solving activities for them.
So in your lessons, when I am watching all the students complete a task or solve a problem that they have essential questions, are they split up by groups sometimes, or how do you have that differentiated lesson?
Yes, we split them up into groups, and I really like to move in my class, so a lot of times we'll play music and you'll move and you'll find different partners so that different people get to work with different people throughout one lesson. It's not just one set. I do like to pair groups with students who work well together, as far as maybe higher level students might work together with one problem and same level students might work on another. So that way we can kind of work together and I don't have a dominant person and then someone who's sitting there. But then sometimes, you can pair them differently so that their strengths are shown.
So it's not like when I was in reading and, I'm in the Crow reading group versus the Bluebirds. You may have differentiated groups that have high achieving students with students who are in, tier 2 and level of instruction.
Yes. And I think too, once you get to know your students, you know their strengths, they know their strengths, and then they can start, once they really recognize that, they can start talking out a little bit more in class and being confident.
I think you've actually become one of the favorites of Farmington. You got a home here. Do you tell us about how you like to be at Germantown?
I love it. We lived in Arlington, and I loved it in Arlington, but we were driving all the time, and all of our life was out here in Germantown, so it's been so nice to be. Really, it's such a community school. I know like all the parents, all the kids, I see them all the time, and it's just so nice to know more about them just than during the school day. I know what's going on with their soccer team or whatever's happening with us, and then my kids go to the school as well. So it's nice to have it's a community feeling.
It's about relationships.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. When we return, we will meet with Will Hudgens, our head football coach, and Connor Dawson, who has a unique position on the football team. Back in a bit.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back. I am Superintendent Jason Manuel. Our last segment today will highlight a relationship that will bring tears to your eyes. We would like to welcome Will Hudgens and Connor Dawson to the show. How are y'all?
Good.
Thank y'all for coming.
Appreciate you having us.
Well, tell us a little bit, Connor, about what you do on the football team. How do you help them?
Get the water.
You get the water for them?
Yes.
How long have you done that? A couple of years?
Couple of years.
couple of years. So how did this relationship develop, Coach? How did you first meet Connor?
Well, I think it started, Collins Day, baseball coach, called me and asked one day. He worked with Connor's mom at Oak out in Bartlett, and she needed somewhere for Connor to be after school for a couple hours until she was able to get over and pick him up. So, you know, we're more than delighted to have him come out and help us out in any which way he can.
So, Connor, tell us a little bit about what it's like to help out with the football team. What are some of the things that you like out there?
Run.
You like to run with them? Who's the fastest? You know who's the fastest on the team? Is it you?
No.
No. Who do you think's fastest?
Logan.
Logan is. Who's the slowest? Is there a slow person on the team? Or any of the offensive linemen?
Kip.
Kip?
Big Kip.
So tell me about some of your experiences, Connor. I heard there's a good one that you saved the team one time.
Caught the ball.
You caught the ball? Coach, set it up for us a little bit. Tell us about how Connor catching the ball saved the team.
So basically after practice, we do a little punt drill. We usually stick an O-lineman or somebody down there, and if they don't catch it, the team has to run suicides. We do hatchback over back. And a lineman dropped it. I think actually Trip Turner dropped it. And then so we stuck Connor out there, asked Connor if he wanted to do it, and Connor caught it and saved the team from having to run that day.
Oh, wow. Did you have to dive, Connor?
No.
No? Could you just reach up and catch it? Now, have you always liked football?
Yes.
You watch it on TV? Besides Houston, do you have any favorite teams that you like to watch?
Memphis.
You like Memphis? So it's college football?
You better not say Ole Miss.
No.
Well, tell me a little bit about what else you'd like to do at Houston. Do you have any favorite teachers here at Houston?
Miss Haley.
Miss Haley? Oh, who else? Anybody besides Miss Haley?
Miss Jones.
Miss Jones. Well, during the school day, Connor, when you're walking around, do you ever see any of the football players going from class to class?
Kip.
You see Kip? So y'all have something like you say to him, "Hey, Kip, you're the slowest guy I know on the football team," or do you make fun of Kip for being slow? No. Who else? You see anybody else during the school day?
Jax.
So tell us, Coach, how do you expand this program? So what are other ways that you think Connor?
Well, he helps in many different ways, not just with water. He'll snap the ball to the quarterbacks when we need somebody to snap. He'll catch the balls in from the receivers after they run routes. He has many different roles that he proceeds, but you know, the biggest thing is, you know, people thank us for having him out, but you know, at the end of the day, Connor takes care of himself. The guys really enjoy him being around and kind of lightens the mood a little bit, always has a smile on his face. You know, and the thing is, mom's always was concerned with was that, you know, is he getting late? And he never has. He's always done his job, and I tell him all the time, if he's not working, we're going to fire him. You know, so he's always out there, he's working, and he's having his role in his team. He's got his own locker, and so he's out there doing his job. And you know, and I think that's the greatest part about it is I don't have to worry about him. He takes care of himself.
And you know, Connor, I also notice you on the sidelines too, because I can tell when something exciting happens that you know exactly what has happened on the sidelines, because I see you cheering with all the guys on the team. So who's next? You know who we're playing this week, Connor?
Collierville.
Collierville. What's your prediction? Are we going to beat Collierville?
Yes.
By a lot?
Yes.
Don't put us up there too much now. Give us a chance.
Okay, so tell us about the family atmosphere that you have on the team, Coach, because I think this is just a sign of the bigger goal that you have for the team. It's not just about being a football player. It
definitely is, and you know, I think you hit on something earlier, just relationships in the hallways of walking through, and you know, Connor and every guy on the team they'll give daps or high fives or whatever as they're walking through the halls. But you know, it's a lot more than just football. We want to have a family atmosphere, and we want everybody to be a part of it. And everybody has their own role, and that's kind of big in our. So everybody in the family has a role, and that's kind of what the atmosphere and the culture we want to convey to people, and that's what we're doing here.
And then also too, how we enter the stadium has changed too. Connor, how did we used to go on the field? Do you remember? Last year, how did you go on the field? Where do we come from? Do you remember that one?
Did the band lead us on last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. You like that this year better?
So tell us about that, Coach. So entering too is different than we've done in the past.
Yeah, we used to warm up on the opposite side of the field. So now we've switched and put it down in front of that new big nice jumbotron that we have. And the band with Matt Taylor, have been very, very awesome to work with. But we started the tradition of what we call the Mustang Walk or Mustang Stampede to get people where they're tailgating. The band and the cheerleaders in the palm will lead us all in. We enter that south end zone. They form basically a tunnel and play the fight song as we come out. And I think it's been a great addition to a lot of great other traditions that we have here at Houston High School and things that we're trying to build on.
So during warm-ups, Connor, how do you help them when the team's getting ready? Besides the water, do you throw balls with the guys on the team?
Yes.
Yes. Who do you like to throw with the most on the team when you're out on the field?
CJ.
CJ. Does he throw it hard?
No.
No. He's good? He doesn't like lead you where you have to jump on the ground or anything?
No.
No. Tell us about your school. How do you think it helps you in school, Connor?
Good.
It's good. Do you think it helps you do better?
Yes.
Yes. In your classes? Well, Coach, I think this is a program that we'd like to see expand in the school. You know, we're always looking for ways to, like I said, really unite the school. Whether you're talking about the band program or the cheerleaders, it's about one big community.
It definitely is, and you know, we're just excited to watch it grow. And you know, I think there's a big, bright future ahead of us, and there's a lot more things that we're going to roll out here in the near future.
How do you think these relationships affect the players on your team?
I mean, it's tremendous. You just, like I said, seeing the guys interact in the hallways, not just with each other, but with kids like Connor and then other kids in the halls. It's a big community, and I think it'll show on Friday nights when you look up in the stands and you see how many people really come out to support the program, support the team, and not just football, with the band and with the cheer and with the palm and all the other organizations that are around on Friday nights.
Well, Connor, I think that we are looking forward to seeing you out there for a long time on Houston's sidelines, whether it's bringing the water or catching the balls, but you need to make those slow guys run faster. Okay, you tell them, Coach Manuel told them that they need to speed up.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. If you'd like more information about this or any other show on Germantown Municipal Television, visit us on our website at www.gmtvonline.org. Until next time, this has been Superintendent Jason Manuel for this month's installment of the Germantown Municipal School District's Spotlight on Excellence. Thank you.